Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing great. Welcome to today's Coaching Communities of Practices session on Uncover Your Purpose, Connecting with Your Being, session 2. On behalf of Agile People Ops, me, Mariana, your host, would like to thank you all for joining us today. This series of calls will redefine the way we learn collaboratively, opening the doors to endless possibilities for personal and professional growth. The sessions take place every second Wednesday of the month. I would now like to introduce our speaker for today's session, Ms. Sonam Arya Gulati. She is an ICF PCC, a coach trainer, a facilitator, certified NLP practitioner, and an image consultant. She has a progressive experience of 15 years, has done more than 600 hours of coaching, and has facilitated programs with over 5,500 individuals. She is passionate about enabling individuals realize their full potential by raising their level of awareness and focusing on their strengths. She conducts bespoke programs, webinars, one-on-one coaching sessions with individuals as well as groups. A very warm welcome to you, Sonam, and to whoever has joined us as the audience. Over to you, Sonam. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Mariana. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session. This is day 2 of the session that we covered last time on uncovering your purpose, connecting with your being. So, how many of you were present in the last session? If you could just raise your hands or type in the chat box. Great. Nancy, you were there as well last time, right? All right, so it is a continuing session, and we, covered the Lips model, which we'll be covering today as well, to go deeper into your purpose. So last time was a glimpse of the model. We spoke about uh, what is our purpose, what is our being, our doing, and today we're gonna start by going deeper into this. So, anyone who would like to share in terms of, what's gone on for you between the last session till today, and how were you able to connect or see yourself, scale up, down, move from where you were in each of these quadrants? Anybody who would like to share in the chat box or unmute yourself and share? So this is the Lips Wiesma Morris Model, which we covered on the being in doing and others in self. The 4 parameters that you can see plotted here. Lucas, would you like to share something? Maybe in the chat box? Can everyone hear me? Hello, it's an audio check. All right. So would you like to share something on anything that occurred for you that you got aware of or observed in yourself based on these parameters? So, the beauty of this continuing journey is to actually have a chance to deep dive, to experiment, to explore, and then come back to the session and go further into it. All right, so for all of those who are new today, I'm going to talk about this model again before we get into a coaching session on all these four quadrants. So, this is a Lips Wiesma Morris model. We used it to understand how are we being, who are we being, and what are we doing. So, as you can see, whether we're doing or being, there's a connection with self and others. So, when we're talking about our being, we are being ourselves. What is it that we know about ourselves? How authentic are we, and how complete and whole do we feel? When we're talking about being with others, it's about how our connection is, how belonged do we feel, how do we connect with them, how do we identify ourselves in a group of people. When we're talking about the doing, how are we able to express our full potential? We know we're capable of something, but are we really going there? How are we handling maybe our flight and freeze response? How are we really taking care of our personal growth? How are we leveraging our strengths, the self discipline and perseverance that we carry? And when we talk about doing for others or with others, how are we contributing to others, to our bigger purpose? What impact are we having? And what impact would we like to have? So, after identifying our being, our doing, where we've been, we deep dived into this. We actually surfaced through this model, and today we're going to deep dive. So, are all of you ready to deep dive into this? A thumbs up, a response. Okay, I
There
can
is
see
a
a hat.
response
It's a
in the chat
Valentine's
box.
Day. Yeah, I just saw. I was just going to read that. Thank you, Mariana. So I got aware I shifted from doing.
Yes, I'm ready.
Did someone try to say something? Mariana, I just heard a sound, but I couldn't hear anything clearly.
Yes, I think it was Samuel who tried to respond.
Yes, Samuel, please go ahead.
And I was saying, yes, ready.
Okay, great. And the chat box response says, I got aware I shifted from doing for self to doing to others during the last years. All right, thank you so much for sharing that. All right, so on an overview, what challenges are you currently facing in these four quadrants? Would anyone like to share? Anything that comes to the top of your mind in terms of what you would like to achieve and be clear about today. So, if you could just think about that challenge for yourself, it could be in any one quadrant, it could be a top challenge. You can just think about it and park it with yourself. And the second question is, what strengths do you possess? Those strengths could even help you, enable you surpass some of the challenges. So think about those strengths and again park them on one side. Okay, so Lucas has shared as challenge I have a doing plus self-discipline and perseverance to complete a career I'm doing right now in order to be able to get to my degree. All right. So is that a challenge currently, Lucas? Because I also see a strength here, which you've mentioned, discipline and perseverance. I'm just going to take a moment to fix my charger. It's just correct. All right. So now we're going to start with a group coaching session with all of you. So I'm going to invite you all to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and exhale. And as you exhale, let yourself loose to think through, to just observe, to explore, to be ready and willing to answer any and every question that comes to your mind or in today's session. So, what is that purpose that you're looking to fulfill? What is that purpose that gives you meaning? What is that step that you're willing to take for service to others or to be able to contribute to the society or to a group where you know you can make an impact? The purpose that aligns with your strengths, with your values. What contribution would be natural to you to make and would provide you with that meaning that you're looking for? What strengths do you see aligned here? And how would you like to use them? What further strengths do you believe you do possess? And if you have to uncover them, even the unused strengths, what would they be? If you were exposed to a torchlight, to a flashlight, to scan through each and every ability and strength that lies with you, which ones are the unexposed ones that you would like to use? How would those strengths coming out on surface make you feel? What push would you have to give to yourself to be able to make them visible? Having 100% belief in your abilities. What is that power that you would like to use and contribute to make this world a better place? If you had to ignite that power, and put in that effort to cross the bridge towards that meaningful purpose, what would you have to do? What would make you feel complete? And in this open ended what, I would invite you to explore the untraveled territories and think without any inhibitions about the knowledge you possess that could create a meaningful impact in your life and that of others. Which segment would you like to target with the whole world open for you for opportunities? What would you like to do today to make it meaningful, that when you looked back 5 years from now, you could tell yourself you did well? What road would you like to travel? And since it's more of thinking for you right now, I would request you to park what you need to hold what you need to write what you need to, and at the end, share what you would like to. We're exploring through all these quadrants so you can make that connection for yourself. What is that bigger purpose that your heart has been beating to achieve? And how do you see yourself living it in the next 1 year? When you go through it each day, each week, each month, I invite you to visualize how that each day, each week, and each month looks like to you. Make your visualization as descriptive as possible. Observe the actions, the colors, the people, observe how it makes you feel, as if it's a video going on in front of you. Pause where you need to and take a deep look. What are some of the challenges that you're coming across? What resources could be handy for you in the moment? And if you need to bring in extra resources in any form, what would they be? Keep exploring. If you have to give an advice to this future self of yours, in the coming week, in the coming month, working towards the purpose, what advice would you give? What are you able to foresee that you would like to tell your future self? And what arrangements can you plan for? Give it a 360-degree angle view, even if you have to rotate the lens. Scan through each step, each level. And observe how you feel while you cross the challenge and navigate through any barrier that you find. Observe like you're watching a video, a visual depiction going on in your mind. What synopsis of this video would you like to assimilate for yourself? And what connection are you feeling in this moment with yourself? How are you able to identify with yourself vis-a-vis your current self to the future self? What message would you like to pass on to your team, to that passionate self of yours who's invested their full energy and full potential into this purpose? What further strengths are coming out of this experience for you? And how would you like to support those around and yourself reach that goal? Once you've done this assimilation, let it seep in. And just observe and be mindful of what's currently happening for you. Let it seep in as you take a deep breath in. Let it reach your eyes, your ears, your brain. As you breathe in your energy, your purpose, your passion, your strengths, and let it reach your fingertips, your elbow, your shoulder, and let it be a part of you. As you let it seep in, be ready to come back amongst all of us. With your observations, with your stories, with your energy, and be ready to share amongst all of us what you visualize through these questions. And what synopsis would you like to share with us? Once you're back and ready to share, I invite you to unmute yourself, to raise your hand, and to share with us. Or you could use a chat box. And share some of the highlights that have been for you through these coaching questions. You may take some time to be fully ready to share. So, what are some of the things you went through while answering and visualizing for yourself? Anybody who's ready to share? Come on. Yes, Samuel, please go ahead.
All right. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, I would say it was an amazing moment to have a reflection. And
Mm-hmm.
among all the questions that you had asked, I'll just highlight on one or two. So one of
Sure.
the question was, what is that bigger purpose that your heart has been longing to achieve?
Mm-hmm.
So on my
Samuel, I missed your voice. After you mentioned the question, I can't hear you. Hello?
side, I was looking at it. Am
Samuel,
I audible now?
I missed you for a moment. Could you start again?
Am I audible now?
Yes, now you are. Now you are.
No, okay, thank you so much. So I was indicating to say that the first question that was asked, which said, what is what is it what is what is that bigger purpose that your heart has been longing to achieve?
Mm-hmm.
So on my side, one of the bigger things that I've been looking forward to is to establish a business that is able to sustain self, sustain family, as well as sustain others. But
Mm-hmm.
besides that, there has been a stronger drive which is attached to purpose on impacting the little knowledge that I've learned so far in various fields on others. And then
Mm-hmm.
besides that is also to see how best I can help other people to get connected to.
Again, I missed your voice. I could hear to help other people get connected to.
Some of the people that I know, maybe part of the to some of the people I know who are doing well in various sectors. It could be in entrepreneurship, it could be in leadership.
Mm-hmm. So, is it just for me, or is everyone losing the voice in the
Am I
middle?
audible? Yes. So that was on
Now
the
you are.
question. And then the other one, which said,
Yes, his voice is breaking.
It's breaking, right? I was
Yes,
afraid.
Samuel, if you could use the chat box, it could really help.
Samuel, we can't hear you again. Okay, there's a message in the chat box.
pardon me?
We missed your voice again, Samuel. So we're able to
Am
hear
I
you
audible now?
once and then it breaks.
Right,
Yes, now
okay.
you're working. Again. Okay, there's a message. Yes, Samuel, you could type. That would be great. Lucas, I can see you've shared as well. So we could wait for Samuel to complete his sharing and then move on to yours. Okay, sure, Samuel, we're waiting for your message. So Lucas has shared that I've made this process through November last year. I'm studying to become a Scrum Master because I believe it is the right place for me. I like how it puts a team of people into the spotlight instead of treating them as simple tools. How the mindset needed is to be a facilitator and helping or guiding leader, but not a boss. I want that and I feel myself in that position in the following year. Nowadays, I'm studying for that and I'm near the end of my career, but I need to certificate my studies. I set challenge to discipline because of studies. I'm aware of my strengths and what do I lack to fulfill my goals, and I'm trying to overcome those obstacles. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Lucas. So, what is it that's come to surface for you after this coaching session? So, I can see Samuel's typed as well. Okay, so Samuel's written, what is the bigger purpose that your heart has been longing to achieve? To establish a big business, to keep learning diverse real life issues, to help others get connected to things that speak to their purpose. Just think. Anyone else who wants to share? Anybody from the group? So after this session, Lucas says it helped me visualizing those things again. I've been a bit unfocused during this month, so I visualize all these goals and strengths again. Thank you for sharing that, Lucas. So having seen that, out of these two sharings, that there's been visualization, there is a focus that's come into place, and the purpose, the goals, the strengths are real and are out there in front of you, along with the challenges that have surfaced out. So, to wrap it up into that next step that you would like to take now. So, I can see Samuel's written, how do you see living it in the next 1 year? To give myself targets, to constantly have self reflections, access the program made, and identify challenges. Thank you so much for sharing that, Samuel. So, this is what we're going to go over now through the next set of coaching questions, coaching journey, to be able to get our focus on the doing part now, on what is it that we are committing to do now. So, I'm actually going to invite you all to close your eyes and having that visualization in front of you, that video that just played, the strengths, the challenges, and the journey ahead in the day, the week, the month, the year. I would now invite you to focus and identify the next step, the commitment that you would like to make with yourself now. To what is it that you would be doing now that aligns with your purpose, your identity, your potential, and your strengths. Identify those next 3 steps that you would be taking. And also identify how you would be keeping yourself accountable for the same. How are you going to make sure that the next steps that you're committing to is something that you're following up on within the time frame, the timelines that you can decide on in the moment towards your goal and next steps. What challenges could come while you're actually executing these steps? And how will you bring back your focus and memento on these targets? Who all might you need on your team? How are you going to bring this up alive in the coming month? And how do you see yourself driving your focus in place? What timeline are you giving to yourself? And how are you going to ensure that you are doing this within the timeline? What would doing it bring to you? What would it mean to you? How easy or hard it is for you on a scale of 1 to 5? And what after you've taken this step? What does the world look like to you while you've begun on this journey? And what do you see yourself saying to yourself in the mirror? where would you be on each quadrant on a scale of 1 to 5, having achieved these steps? Having observed these, making a note, and finding your options to keep you on track. You can be ready to come back and share about your commitment. So, what does your plan look like now, guys? How real are the next steps for you? Anybody who would like to share? Anybody else who would like to share who hasn't shared so far? So, just as the popcorns pop one by one under the same heat, under the same place, at the same place, each one of you might be in a different space and a different state. So, what is it that you're observing about yourself, and what is it that you're committing to? Anybody willing to share, please share in the chat box or raise your hand and unmute yourself to be able to talk amongst all of us. Anybody who would like to unmute and share? What is it that you're committing to for yourself? Hello, everyone. Mutiehi, Nathalian, Robert, Addie Boy, Lucas. Anybody who would like to share? Samuel, you could share too.
All right. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are right now.
Okay, thank you so much. Concerning the question that says, what would I want to commit myself as I project the timeline for the next coming month? I look at one, investing in self-check, that is introspection, quite often, maybe, but every day, to commit myself to introspect on how I'm progressing, the challenges that I'm facing, I introspect about that. Number two is to keep learning, to keep building myself, part of personal development. I keep on investing time to learn on things that will push me to keep moving in life. Then the other thing, which is also in line with some of the leadership roles that I have, it means
Mm-hmm.
I have to learn to ask myself what it means to be a leader and what it means to lead others, as well as to see how best I can impart the knowledge that I have received about leadership on others, so that even them, they can now begin visualizing themselves to become uh, excellent leaders. We cannot have perfect leaders, but we can have excellent leaders by virtue of us learning different nuggets that helps us to become
Mm-hmm.
strategic visionary leaders. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Thank you for sharing that, Samuel.
You're welcome.
Anybody else who wants to share? Yes, Robert, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you very much. So, my take from this very important topic this evening is
Mm-hmm.
there is a question that you posed about us making a compliance plan about whatever we want to achieve at the end of the day. So, what I would say from the beginning is that whenever we're setting plans about what we want to achieve, we need to ensure that we set sensible plans so that we don't end up getting stressed in the process. We need to ensure that we set goals that are feasible enough so that
Mm-hmm.
we may stay focused along the way. And we also need motivation. We need to be self-motivated along the way. We don't have to wait for anyone to actually motivate
Mm-hmm.
us to achieve something. We need to be self-motivated because once the people that we depend upon to maybe provide that motivation stop motivating us, it means that we're going to lose focus and
Mm-hmm.
we want to be able to achieve whatever goals we want to achieve at the end of the day. So we need to ensure that we also set targets to say we need to have different plans. We need to have short-term plans,
Mm-hmm.
medium-term plans, and also long-term. So we need to first of all start. We need to gauge our long-term goals about where we want to end up at the end of the day. So there we can end up achieving those long-term goals is by first of all setting those short-term goals towards achieving those long-term goals. We can't just achieve anything overnight. Yes, we need to ensure that those short-term plans that we make are in line with what we want to achieve in the long-term goals that we set for ourselves. So yeah, that is what I can say about this topic. Then also, um, I've personally struggled with really discovering my purpose, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe looking at my interests and all that. So we need to ensure that we sit down and actually analyze whatever options that we have in front
Mm-hmm.
of us. We need to we need to be able to plan. For example, in terms of careers, I saw many people sharing about how they want to achieve the goals of getting a degree. Then there are
Mm-hmm.
certain times where we may be faced with dilemmas to say, what should I achieve at the end of the day? So we need to be able to gauge what impact we're going to have. So
Mm-hmm.
most of the times when I'm making these plans, we need to ensure that we understand our personality. What kind of people are we? So before we actually venture into making any plans or yeah, maybe choosing a career, we need to understand our personality traits. What kind of people are we? Are we going to be satisfied with maybe choosing a specific career with in line with our personality traits? So we have to ensure that there's a balance. And at the end of the day, we need to ensure that whatever we do will be of will be having an impact on will be having a positive impact on other people. So we need
Hmm.
to, yes, we need to plan in line with that, because we can't just do something that maybe someone decides to tell us to say we should maybe do this, then we won't be satisfied, because that is not who we are. It will be like we're just working towards achieving someone else's plans. So
Hmm.
we need to ensure that we understand ourselves in that aspect. We need to see what we want to achieve at the end of the day. Do you want to help people in the marginalized in society? Do you want
So, how would you actually ensure that you do that, Robert? Robert, are you there? Hello? Mariana?
Yeah, I'm not able to hear him as well.
Oh, why is this happening?
I see
I think
Lucas
it
has.
could be network, but
Yeah, but the network in the middle of sharing becomes difficult to take care of.
oh, he's back. He's
He's
back.
back. Robert, so we missed you, and I was asking how would you ensure that you're actually able to do that for yourself?
Okay, thank you very much. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, now you are.
Okay, thank you. So for me to be able to ensure that I achieve what I plan to achieve at the end of the day, I have to ensure that I'm self-disciplined in the process. And I have to
Mm-hmm.
ensure that by being self-disciplined, I have to make a plan on how I'm going to achieve everything. So it may be in setting a schedule for myself, like in a day. For example, like in terms of I'm a student. Yes, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
student. So just as someone had alluded earlier, you say you want to get a degree as a student.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ensure that I set my plans and my goals according to what I want to achieve at the end of the day, because I cannot uh, intend to achieve something like maybe getting a degree
Again, we
or
lost your voice,
achieving something
Robert.
at the end of the day.
I think Sonam, the connection is really bad, but whatever he was trying to say is very beautiful. We can just probably ask him to type it actually.
I think Sonam has frozen.
Even Sonam's connection is gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe we can wait for a Sonam to come back, and actually we are past our did allocated time. Maybe we can quickly summarize and close this call, Mariana.
Okay. I'll just wait for 2 minutes
Yeah,
while Sonam joins, and then I'll
yeah,
proceed.
yeah, sounds good. Thanks.
Okay. I see she has joined back. Hi, Sonam.
Yes, Mariana, I was saying I think I'm going to give it over to you now.
Yes. Okay. Just a moment while I share my screen. So as we conclude, I would like to thank Sonam for this wonderful session. This was definitely a wonderful experience for everybody in the audience. I would also like to thank you all from the audience for joining us today. We appreciate your time and participation, and we hope that you found today's session very informative and engaging. We'll all receive a feedback form link in the chat box. Would request you all to share your feedback. So what do we have next? As mentioned earlier, we have these coaching communities calls every second Wednesday. So the next session is on March 13th. During this session, you will discover your needs and aspirations using Maslow's hierarchy, prioritize your life circles accordingly, gain clarity on your focus and aspirations for the next phase. To register for this event, please scan the QR code or via the link which will be shared in the chat box. You would not want to miss it. The next upcoming APO events are, we have an upcoming India Virtual Coffee Meet scheduled on February 19th. This session is a dynamic networking event for HR pros immersed in agile methodologies to connect, collaborate, and explore the transformative power of agile and HR. Unlock innovation over coffee. We have our next team coaching communities of practices session on February 28th. And during the session, you will be able to understand the team coaching approach, the power of a growth mindset for a team, and the team coaching tool for conducting productive team meetings. To register for all of these events, please scan this QR code or one of the link shared in the chat box. You will not want to miss it. Alternatively, you can join our APO Global Community LinkedIn group to get further updates on upcoming events. Kindly scan this QR code to join the group. We also have some great news. Our community platform is now live and ready for you to register. This platform shares and provides an excellent space for connecting with fellow like-minded individuals to access rewards and more. To register for the account, use the link which will be shared in the chat box. We will be sharing the recording of this entire session with all the participants who have registered, and we will upload this session on our Agile People Ops YouTube channel. Thank you all once again. Have a wonderful day ahead. With lots of gratitude, I am Ariana, your host, will be signing off for today.